Hey, everybody, this is Dr.
Hello,
David.
everybody.
This is Spike in Kamal's Live in Long Island, New York, where we're discussing everything from World War III to Wall Street. But let's stick to Wall Street.
The big W's.
But I must say that Dr. Spike was right when we spoke about CRISPR the other day.
Well, I think you were right too. You
You were
both
right.
agreed that there would be a sell-off upon the approval. I
Right.
didn't think there would be a major sell-off, but there was.
It
I
was
could.
Yeah, no,
possible. It was.
this is
We
definitely
all thought it was priced
overdone.
in.
I think.
I thought it would go down a few points because I figured everything was baked in, including if the news was so baked in, I figured it wouldn't go down much or up much. That was my thinking, but I was wrong. You were right. It
Well,
collapsed.
if you look at some of the chatter, about Chris Bryant, also about Lily, it was sort of like all that negative stuff, like, oh well, it's going to be too expensive, so nobody's going to be able to take advantage of it anyway. Or for the
I
other one,
think
well, if you after you stop taking the fat medicine, you become fat again.
the other problem with the CRISPR drug is that there's going to be three others that are better than that one right
You
behind it.
think?
Sure, they're all doing SCD.
Well, then as soon as
I
Chris
mean, what do you
back a
call
little
it?
bit, it'll be time to
Sickle cell anemia, whatever you call it.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, I think that particular one is that one in thalassemia. Thalassemia was a problem I had in my family.
They changed it.
People died from it, but
They
now it's
changed
curable.
it from anemia. They don't call it anemia anymore. They call it disease. Sickle
It's not
cell
it's
disease.
sickle cell disease, not sickle cell anemia.
I don't know
Okay.
why.
How about the Sava? How about my prediction of Sava bullish flag?
That was a very good trade. You made 25%.
Did it? And
Anytime you make
Kamal
25%,
was right. Let's say it.
Thank you, sir.
25% in 3 days, I'll take that.
Yeah, I made about 24% in like 3 business days.
That was a great call, and I agreed with that one. But I before I could get in, and suddenly it pops. I didn't chase it.
Yeah,
Well, I own it anyway. But
you still have it?
I
I
own
have it from way
some.
back.
Yeah, I sold it. I made
So Dr. J,
24%.
you
I
still
was
have it
out.
from way back also.
My average on Sava is about 18,
Well, that's nice.
and I
Mine,
sold.
mine is about
I've been
100.
doing a lot of selling lately, very little buying.
I agree. I think it's time to sell, not to buy. I think
That's
I
what
think we're
I think.
heading down. There is some kind of correction.
Yeah, yeah. I think.
I
Well,
feel the pull of gravity.
we still have a bit more of a Santa Claus rally to wait for, don't we?
Well, I think by the end of this week, I was telling Kamal we'll be all clear. But this week, I think you get a pullback.
So tell us about MicroStrategy.
MicroStrategy, I texted Kamal on Friday at
Yeah, so it came back a little,
exactly
right?
7 p.m. And 7 p.m. on Friday, I had just sold what 28%, about 30% of my MicroStrategy at even $600.
That was impressive. That was
So I got the highest
very impressive.
possible price on MicroStrategy. But I didn't sell all of it, unfortunately, because it collapsed. It
You said we would come
imploded.
back.
Yeah, I bought a little bit near the bottom today. I paid 550. So I'm nibbling already to come, get back
Right.
in 50 points below what I sold it at. Basically, almost 10%, 8, 9%.
I think it's gonna go further down to close that gap. Let's go to the chart. If you
What's the
Yeah,
gap?
we'll look at the charts. We can
The
talk about
gap is at 527, 524, something like that.
yeah, 520. Yeah,
I,
527.
I agree. I'm saving my powder for that 527 number. But just in case, I'm nibbling at it now. I don't want to get left out. I want to get my 30% back plus a little bit more because I still have great faith in Bitcoin going higher. But nothing goes in a straight line, so I had to take some profits. That's how I looked at it.
So
So
could you go over shop and what was the other one I asked you to do?
shop and what was it? I forget. You'll think of it. Don't worry about it. What I wanted to concentrate on are the service stocks.
Top and Starbucks.
Okay. I
Okay.
want to concentrate on Dell and HPE and IBM and SMCI today. Which one looks like the best short-term, middle-term, long-term buys? I know I have my favorites, and yeah, they're all going to be very much a part of the AI revolution that's going on, and they're all gigantic companies except for SMCI. That's the only smaller one, and that's probably the one I like the most. But let's take a look. All right. From left to right, I have Sava, then I have SPY, then I have the Qs, and I have IBM. I have SMCI, HPE, Dell, MicroStrategy last. What do you want me to start?
You might as well start with the broad stuff, the spiders.
All right. We broke
and IWM.
We broke the line. Now, if there's a green candle, the big green candle tomorrow, new highs in sight by the end of the year. If we pull back to the 5% mark that I'm talking about.
You have to show your screen, Dr. J, because we don't see it.
I guess
So right now we're just talking in theoretics.
I guess so. People trust me.
Yeah. When you say this thing here, it's hard to know which thing this.
You don't know which thingamajig
right.
I'm talking about. All right.
So with the SPY, there is a gap, and the gap is square exactly at the 100-day moving average.
Yeah. SPY is pretty easy to read right now. You don't need to be a guru. You can clearly see that we broke the 460 SPY, closed at 461.51 with putting a little green shoot above it. Not enough to make me fully confident that you can jump on board to new highs. Maybe I would put the odds 60-40 against right now. The next move. The next move
against airing out the difference between the difference between that line.
I'm not saying we go all the way down to fill the gap, but I think we could go down pretty far, maybe as low as 446. 15.
I mean, the gap is not that far down. I mean, it's just 20 points down.
Yeah, well,
that's a hard-earned 20 points, Kamal.
20 points from 460 is that's 5%.
Yep, that's exactly what you thought it's going to go down to. 5%.
I said 3 to 5.
Because that would be a good support, which is the 100-day moving average. You see that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
So if we fill this gap, it takes us pretty much to the 100-day moving average.
That's what I thought. It's a good support line.
Yeah, like at about 440.83, right around now.
That's what I thought. Yep.
I think if it hits that, we're in trouble.
Well, no.
I'm not saying it's going to happen this week. It's what is going to happen.
Yeah, I know. If it happens, it's going to happen this week. Otherwise, I think new high. Otherwise, I think we just make new highs. But go straight up to the end of the year. My feeling is this week is a pullback week. Next week before Christmas, is going to be strong. So
Santa Claus will be coming to town.
Yeah, the week of the 18th is 5 trading days before Christmas, right? I think that'll be strong.
But I thought people do like a lot of selling and to adjust their accounts.
Well, they do. December is a mixed bag because people take losses to cover their gains.
Exactly, I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, the tax selling it's called.
Right, a little loss harvesting.
Yeah, but then you have January with the January effect. It's generally a good month. All right, so we have December's not a bad month usually. It's just mixed, basically mixed. But Santa Claus comes to town kind of late normally. So we have that Never Never Land between the low and the gap. So this low is 446. I could see that stopping right there, not filling the gap also.
Right.
So right about, I expect to pull back to somewhere between 446 and 441. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
That would be my thinking. Fill the gap maybe to this line, and then we go strong into the new year. Whether we make a new all-time high before the new year or not, I'm not sure, but it'll be close. 470, which is also Professor Omar's key number, 470. See, he's thinking 470 and then the deluge. I'm thinking 470 and then we continue on up.
Gotcha.
I'm liking the S&P to go as high as probably at least 50 points above the old highs. So that would be 530 at least. Probably more like 550 or so before we get a pullback. And the pullback may not be all that drastic. It may just be to fill this gap that we don't fill now, which would be a big pullback if we're at 550, right? It would be 110 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's I mean, I really like putting my crystal ball to work, because I'm not only calling the top, but I'm calling the pullback afterwards, the bear market. I think we do not get a recession next year, but we get a slowdown. So it's going to feel like a recession. But in terms of negative GDP, I doubt it.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah, right. So it's not quite a soft landing either.
J.P. Morgan strategist, head of equities, says bearish, as well as Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson is doubling down on his bearish bet.
Mm-hmm.
These guys don't want to give up, do they? They're doubling down on their bearish call from 23. They're just uber bears. I'm going to call them an uber bear already. I'm beginning to lose my respect for Mike Wilson. All right, anyway. I don't mind them getting it wrong, but you can't stay with one call for your whole life, because like eventually you're going to get it right. What does that even mean? You know, markets go up and markets go down. So if you stay with one call long enough, I guess you get it right. All right, I wanted to look at Sava. Or should we look at the Qs? Look at the Qs.
Yeah, the Qs and IWM. We might as well go with the broad brushes
Yeah,
first.
look at the Qs. They're also banging right up against resistance. Same picture as the S&P. You even got the same gap to fill. So it's the same thing, through like 3 to 4% pullback. That's how I see it. Sava, I didn't make money today, even though the indexes were up, because the Mag 7 didn't do well. And also Bitcoin. So I still have lots of that, even though I sold 30%. All right, so Sava is right up to resistance right now. Probably not a good idea to go in unless or wait. If it takes out the high of 511, you could probably go in. That would be like $29. Closes above 29, it probably has more to go. But I think this is an ideal time to take some profits, or even go short down to the high of yesterday, which was 24.84. So swing trade, I would be short, not long. If I or wait, if I want to go long, I'd wait for the break above this line. If I that of course all my opinions, all of our opinions are strictly our own, not investment advice. We feel smart because we were right the other day. But we could be wrong about everything we say today, right, Kamal?
Yep.
You never know with the stock market. We feel smart one day, and other days it's very humbling, makes you feel stupid. So
Indeed.
that's the story. I like Sava long term, but short term is another story.
I sold at 25.60.
Well, you did, and you bought a 20 and change, so you did
I bought
phenomenal.
at 20.80.
You did great. Choose, and then you could look to come back at on a pullback.
Right.
Right. I think the shorts are going to attack it very soon.
I think everyone should have a small position at least in Sava because it could be explosive if things go right for that company. That is, if the data shows that it's efficacious against Alzheimer's, forget it. With a good safety profile, forget about it. To the moon. All right, but everybody knows that as well, that it's to the moon on good data. The Qs, we looked at the Qs. All right, let's look at IBM.
How about IWM
Okay, IWM.
before we get to the specifics? But I do like IBM.
IWM. This is what every analyst on the street is saying: rotation into the small caps. Maybe not every, but enough of them.
Well, it looks like this it's a different picture than all the other pictures.
Yeah, but it's also testing the resistance level primarily last week. It hasn't. The key level is actually 190. That's the key level. So it could go up until 190, break 190, and then we're talking.
Right.
Right now, it's kidding around stuff. You got to take out this old high up here of 191 and change, 192. Take that out, I'm a believer. Up until then, you can fool around with it. It's kind of choppy with an uptrend. So it may not be a bad place to jump in for at least a run to 190, 3 points, if you want to, if you're interested in that kind of thing. And then again, you could maybe wait to pull back with the rest of the market. If I'm right, everything's going to pull back, including IWM, 3 to
So
5.
all this is going to happen in January or
Now,
February.
now,
I mean the short, very short term, right?
yeah, very short.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm thinking. We get a short-lived pullback, like 3 days, beginning tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday, maybe. And next week we start healing, going into Christmas. Santa will be coming, and it's going to be kind to us traders, long-term traders. All right.
IBM.
Oh, okay. So IBM, yeah. IBM is retraced the entire down wave that we had from, what date is this? From I can't see the date. Date is hiding behind that thing. Maybe I can get it now. From 1212, it looks like, right? Was the high, and it went down to a low on 424, which it totally retraced by 918. So the full downturn was fully retraced on 913, and since then we pulled back a little, and we're up again. about whatever we pulled back, we're up about the same amount. So it looks to me like we may be, I did a little fib analysis. We may be in a position where some profit taking is overdue on IBM. I love IBM long term, but right now I think it's approaching 38.2% extension of the downward cycle that I pointed out earlier. So just like the Qs and just like SPX, maybe give it a rest for a week before it look. I think you can buy it lower. I think you could probably buy it back here at this support resistance area of what is that? Uh, 152. So I think you can get it 10 points cheaper, which is consistent with my 5%, right? It'll be a little more than 5%. So I think it's a terrific pickup at about 152. You get a dividend and you've got a very bullish chart. Well, what more can you ask for? And you're in a hot area. It's AI and it's also quantum computing and it's also cloud, hybrid cloud. It's also Watson AI. It's servers, data center servers. It's everything. It's a big, old, stodgy company that we're making a comeback, right? I like this one. Beautiful chart. Where did we get in? 130s?
We got in around June or July.
Yeah, we got in pretty cheap. Quite a nice. I'm 25% up on from my wherever it was that we got in. So it must be 130s, low 130s, something like that. I'm in the around 25% up, maybe 23. I don't really, I can take a look. In fact, I'm not going to bother. What's the difference?
Exactly.
All right, SMCI compared to
I
IBM.
have it at 132. We bought it around there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so SMCI 262 down 10. It's just a normal trading range for this one. This one did a raise at what price? 260? I think it was 260. Now we have this expanding wedge, or whatever you want to call it, megaphone, whatever you want to call it. So this is not, it's hard to point to a direction because it goes in every direction, doesn't it? Goes down, goes up. For the upper trend line, lower trend line, how many times did it do it? Did it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, about 5 times. At some point, it's going to break north or break south. My bet is it breaks north eventually. Maybe even, well, probably with the rest of the market, it may continue on down for a little ways. Maybe even touch this lower trend line again. If it does, it would come at about 220. It's possible, but it would be a phenomenal buy as I think it'll bounce off this lower trend line or off the 200, maybe the 200 holds. It'll bounce off of that.
Yeah.
Or all the way up to like 350. So I could see a move from 220 to 350 on this one. Look, just playing
221st or 351st?
220.
Okay.
221st. So, or 225, whatever the black line. You see the black line?
Yes.
I think the black line holds, which would be, support.
It hasn't touched the black line in a long time,
Yeah, it looks like it may want to, because the black line is also basically just above the lower trend line. So the 200 could be tested here at about 225. And that could happen quickly, like in a few days. So from 250, 25 points would be 10%. It could go down 10% by the end of the week. It's possible. But it doesn't have to, of course. It could go down a little more and turn around and go all the way up here to the upper trend line at about what does it say? 332. I mean, this is really a swing trader's delight, isn't it? When you get a pattern like this,
Yeah,
you buy at the lower trend line, you sell at the upper trend line, buy at the lower trend line. And then you look for confirmation as to when to short, when to go long by the RSI. The RSI is at what? I can't read it. 43, 45. So it's neither overbought nor oversold right now. So no help. All right, let's take a look at. So what's the story with SMCI? I'm probably short-term cautious, but long-term bullish, very bullish. And the same is true with IBM and HPE. Pretty much the same thing.
so which was your favorite?
Probably SMCI. I think it's got the narrowest focus on data centers. And also, I think it's in cahoots with NVIDIA solidly. I don't know. I like IBM a lot, but I think SMCI, you get more bang for the buck.
That leverage.
Yeah, more leverage, more beta, whatever. IBM, like, where's it going to go realistically? To 200 maybe? This would SMCI could go to 400. That's
Right.
the difference. So you know, I like them. I like IBM. And you're getting a dividend. It's more conservative, but SMCI is sexier. This one looks like a bullish pattern. You know, it's got solid resistance, straight line resistance, and a rising trend line. It looks like it wants to break out. It may take a while. Hewlett Packard Enterprises. And it may come down in the short run to test this lower trend line. Let's say it comes down to 1540, around there. That's also consistent with my 3 to 5%. So there's room for this one to go down and pick up a little cheaper. And I think you can sell it up here at 1780 or hold on to it.
You could probably keep doing that. Just sell up there and then buy lower for a while.
Yeah, eventually it's
at least 2 more cycles
I
of
think
this.
eventually it's much more likely to break north than to break south. These are big companies. I don't know what the market cap. Dell. What do you think the market cap on Dell is? 40 billion, maybe. I'm just guessing. I don't even know. Could you take a look what the market cap is?
For Dell?
Yeah.
$49 billion.
49. I was close.
Not bad.
Yeah. Well, Dell already dropped off the highs. Looks like a considerable drop from 76 to 69. 7 points. That's about 10%. It dropped already. It could drop down to this excellent support area at about 64.50. That would be consistent with that 3 to 5% range, or it could stop at the 100, which is another good stopping point. And like the others, I like this one. I think it's going to retest the high of $76. So basically, it's up to you which one you're in, but I think any of them and all of them are worth being in. So it's a no lose. Again, my own personal preference is SMCI followed by IBM, but they're all good. Why did I sell some? because it was at ridiculous move up, and I figured it's time to take a little off. I just got lucky, and I did it after hours, just before the close on Friday, the close of the after hours. So I waited to the last minute to make up my mind to sell some, and luckily I did because it imploded today along with Bitcoin. But I think it'll be short-lived. I see 526, the gap fill, as the rock bottom support here. So good time to enter now and average in if you're not in it already. As I do think Bitcoin is not done moving up, at least to 48,000. But I figured it needed a little breather, and we got it. So I actually bought a little bit today back at 550, very little back. But at least I got like a bookmark, reminding myself to be buying, not selling at this point. I'm a buyer, not a seller. And what did you want, Kamal?
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
And if you're taking requests, I'd like Chevron.
All right. SBUX. And what's the reason that it sold off?
Some people are boycotting.
There's picketing going on, you said?
Yeah, people are boycotting Starbucks.
Oh boy.
Because it was something to see.
I'm sure it has very little to do with the coffee itself.
It's got to do with the Middle East, is that it?
Yes, yes.
So people, CEOs should not give their political opinion, period. It hurts the business, one way or the other.
We love all of our customers.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. How stupid could you be? Keep quiet.
So how low do you think this will go?
I think you saw it low already. I think you saw it low already. I mean,
Yeah, it really does
It
look
filled
like
up that gap. You mean it filled up that gap, right?
yeah, I think the low is in on Starbucks. I don't. If it goes back, if we get a weak market and it goes down a little, I think this low holds. Wherever that was, 95 or whatever it was.
I see. I agree.
I think it holds. So it looks like a good opportunity, good buying opportunity that is a result of the boycott. I hate their coffee personally, but that's just my own
I think
taste.
their coffee is way overpriced.
Way overpriced and way too strong, at least for me. I like.
Well, there's two types of strong. If you go to Pete's Coffee, it's strong also, but it's not strong in the same way.
I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Yeah,
Well,
I like homemade coffee, and that's it.
More my speed is Dunkin'.
yeah.
Yeah, this looks like an interesting buy after this steep decline, especially if it's over nonsense.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens after everybody buys all the gift certificates, gives them away, and nobody uses them.
That's true.
I'd say this is a Christmas run that you should sell in January.
That's true. This is a big Christmas gift, Starbucks gift card, along with Amazon gift cards, right?
Yep.
All right. What was the other one? Come on.
I asked for Chevron.
Chevron C. Is that CVX?
Correct. I'm just trying to explain the weak. I'm just trying to see if there's anything there that explains the weakness.
Oh, gee. Well, all the energy stocks have been weak. Does look like it formed the bottom already.
Yeah.
That's the good news.
I mean, this really is a $150 stock.
I mean, energy is the supply and demand issue, isn't it? It just hasn't been much the supply. Maybe it's partially due to all the electric vehicles.
Yeah, but Chevron is trying to play the other forms of energy more than anyone else is.
Yeah.
At least according to their advertisements.
Looks pretty good. You got a nice dividend on this one or no?
Well, you can see the D's right there. I don't know how nice it is, but it's.
What does it say?
Let me see. How do you find out dividends?
Isn't it, do you go to the right? I think.
If you hover over it, sometimes it tells you.
Well, it must be about 4 or 5% after
Yeah, I
this,
mean, just for that.
after this decline. Just guessing, of course. This picture probably doesn't look much different than Exxon or any of them. I
Right,
mean,
ExxonMobil.
or BP. It must all look similar. PBR, I bet you, has a better chart.
Oh.
I mean, that was Arjun's favorite.
Yes, he was rattling the teacups for that one.
Yeah, we probably should have all bought some.
I know. I know. I
But
got
this,
burnt so bad on that VBIV that I didn't bother.
I don't like energy stocks. I seldom make money with them. That's probably why I don't like them.
Right.
So just a quickie thing on Nvidia. You see it riding the 50-day moving average?
Let me put it in. Yeah, it's riding.
Can
It's
you
riding the 50 and the 100, which are together.
can you do
Right.
the yeah, do the 6 months or 3 months just
All
to see.
right. I'll do 6 months. Yeah. It's exactly on the 50-100, which came together.
Right. So it
And
hits it, bounces back up. It hits it, bounces back
so I
up.
mean, it's kind of dull. It's between the last 7 trading days or so. It's between 475 and wherever the 100 is, or the 50. Say this number 454 to 474, 20 points.
Right. If there is a correction, I think it's gonna hit that. What is that? The
Yeah,
Walmart?
then you're looking at the 200
Correct.
coming into play.
Yep. I see that as well.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm selling. I haven't been in this much cash. I have like 30% in cash right now.
Really?
I've been selling as well. I have, if I count all my treasuries, I'm probably 40% in cash. I'm not actually in cash. I'm in short-term treasuries, which is basically the same thing.
Right.
I got
Yeah, all those 5% notes gonna be
conservative.
shut down.
I forgot to mention I sold a third of my Walmart today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got
Why?
tired. I didn't like the chart. I didn't like the price action. I figure I'll get back in lower,
Oh,
maybe.
you mean after the devastation of the week?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm looking to. I'm not doing wholesale selling, but my weakest stocks I've been trimming.
Well, I guess it makes sense.
So Walmart, yeah, as you can see, looks pretty yucky. It had a decent candle today, though. I sold it for less. I sold it for 149. So already there was a bad move that I made. Well, we'll see what happens. I can always come back in at any time, even for
Right.
a slight loss. All right, so that's it. I'm sorry I'm not more optimistic short term, but I'm very optimistic
Well,
over
the short term you're not optimistic for is all of 3 days. By the
40.
time we do the show again next week, you'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm correct with whatever pulls out.
Can I do one more thing?
Yeah,
Dust, DUST,
that's the opposite of the miners.
gold, the gold. Yes.
Uh,
All right, the short and gold.
Gold is off today, right?
Yeah, gold
Yes, it went down. I I have a lot of shares in Dust.
I think you should have made money today on it.
Yes, I made money. I'm green on that thing. But do you see on October 3rd when the 200 crossed the 100?
I don't know why it's not letting me get there. Dust. It's go. I key it in. It's going away. I don't know why. Try another picture. DUST. No, it's not working.
No, it's not working. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why not. If I go to finance.yahoo.com, it'll probably work. Get a fresh page.
Yeah.
Dust. DUST.
Yep. There you go.
Up 12 cents.
I have it at 1060.
1060.
So if you see where the 100 crossed the
Sell it because you're up against strong resistance. Yeah.
I understand,
Yeah,
but
I'd
I
say.
think it's going to go a little higher to 12 something.
Well, then you got resistance up here at the 100.
Correct.
And
That's what I'm going to sell it.
Oh, you're gonna wait till that? That makes sense.
Yeah, but look at
Yeah,
the.
I'm a little. I actually sold my gold for now for a little while.
Can you look at October 3rd? You see when the 100 crossed the 200?
yeah, right in here,
No, further to the left, more left.
Earlier.
all the way here.
No, right in the middle. On October 3rd, roughly October 3rd. Yeah, right there. Left. More left, more left. Right there.
There you go, right there.
It was
Oh,
way up there.
it crossed to 200.
Yes, 100 crossed the 200. It was at the peak, but when that cross happened, it crashed. If you look
Yeah,
all the way up the graph,
which is not supposed to happen because
Right.
it's
it's the up.
That's supposed to be bullish.
it's bullish, but it was bullish ultimately with a delay.
But you see how it crashed from that
Yeah, I
cross?
see. I see.
It was
Okay.
way up there.
Yeah. So what is that for?
I don't know.
Right
I'm
now,
asking
what's
you.
in there?
Well, it's supposed to be bullish when the 100 crosses 200, but sometimes it takes a while, so it's a lag. It actually became bullish 2 weeks later after it collapsed. Then you had a bullish run, and now
So
you've
now
got
you're having the
now you
50.
got a negative cross of the 50 and the 100.
Right. What does that tell you? That's my question.
That should go down. That's bearish.
Yeah, but not right. Not this week though. You have to wait a little bit. Still got that
Well,
lag.
maybe.
But yeah, I don't think it's more than a couple days.
I wouldn't be. I would just, if I had a profit on this thing right now, I would sell it.
Okay. I mean, I made a few thousand on it, so I could sell
Very
it.
nice.
I would sell it. I mean, what are you going to get? A few more dollars, maybe.
No, a couple more thousands. A
Well,
lot.
Sell half.
there you
Okay.
go. Right, exactly. Easy
That's
way
it.
out.
That's
Do
what I
it.
wanted to.
Do it my way. I sell half or a third. I sold 30% on. I should have sold more. Should
Okay.
have, could have. But that's my style. I go in a little bit at a time, and I go out a little bit at a time.
I gotta learn that. I usually jump in like with all my, with both feet.
Especially stocks that I like MicroStrategy. I don't want to go totally out.
Right.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
gents, I have to leave.
So we're all leaving. We're all going home.
All right. Goodbye, all.
We're all
Okay.
making it a day. And what did Andrew have to say? Any words of wisdom?
Yeah, he's telling me to
He
sell.
said, yeah, he said when gold hits a good buying point, that's when you sell dust. Around 180 on GLD.
I don't play
I think
gold.
I wrote 185.
I don't like gold. I don't play it.
I'm going back in at 185.
Dr. Mika wanted I know that. Next
Honestly,
time.
I don't buy it based on liking or not liking. I buy it based on the chart.
Should I do a quick shot of I know that for Dr. Mika? One more. I know that. I don't know why I'm doing this because I like Dr. Mika. I know that. Well, it looks like it had a little run, and right now I'd be leery. Probably come back down to test the 50. That's what it looks like to me. So
Yeah,
the
that's it.
50 is what price now? The 50 is at eight, I can't see that, 97 cents. I think it comes back down to $1. I know that. I don't know that, but that's what I'm thinking. So
Okay.
that's it. We did good. Adios, amigos. Ciao.
Have a good night. Bye.
Right out. Bye.